Question 6 gives us a chance to think outside the box. So the question says, or the statement, comment on the types of articles you believe would be of interest to readers of young professionals. So we need to know just an overall idea of who these people are and what we think would be of interest. We've already dug in the data quite a bit. We know that the majority of them have investments, maybe about half have children. We've got a general idea of their household income, whether or not they have internet access and so on. So what I'd like to do is create something like this, where we're doing the min max. This is going to give us the range. It's also going to give us the sum of everything that's relevant, right? We don't need a sum of age or a sum of gender, but it is nice to know a sum of investments, the average age, the average number of transactions, and so on. So to create this, what we're going to do, let me start a new tab here, is we first need our headings. I know this seems a little bit like, well, we could just retype them, but I want to show you how to do this in an easy way. Now, here we go. Okay, we'll do this in number 18. So if we've copied our data, now we want to paste special and transpose. What this does for us is it takes the data, takes the wording, instead of it having it go across one row, we have it going down one column. And then you can format that any way you want to. But basically, this is our information. And like I said, you can clean that up if you want. Get the rows a little bit more in line so that they're easier to read, that kind of thing. So if you highlight all the rows and double click, sometimes that works. Yep, that worked. And then I actually took off the information here just to clean it up. And this will speed up as we get going. So bear with me for a second. All right, now we want another column, or a row in the top so that we can put our information. Now I went ahead and put some thought into this. So I know that this is the information that I want at the top. And I'll just paste that there. So we'll have our min, max, sum, average, and so on. Now for age, we can do this with formulas. So this video is going to be a lot of formulas. We're going to do equals, and then we're going to do min. So see how when you type it, it automatically comes in. So equals min. You can see it easier up here than you can as I type it, but there it is. Then you want your parentheses. We have to tell it where we're getting our information from. So this one is age. We want the age column. And then we'll put it in parentheses. That's all we have to do. So the minimum age is 19. The maximum age, max, parentheses, the age column. Our maximum age is there. The sum, does it make sense to have sum for age? Not really, but average is good. So average, parentheses, and that same column in parentheses. And that's about it with the age, min, max, and average. Now with gender, we're going to do a count if statement. So equals count if. So we want to count if this specific column of gender, and then we have comma, quotation marks, yes, quotation marks, parentheses. So basically we are, oops, I said yes instead of male. So we can fix that. We'll come right on up here, type male, and there we have, that's the amount of males that we have. Now we can drag that over, but notice that it's taking it from column B to column C. So that's a quick fix if you want to just put column B back and then change that to female. So that works. Now, real estate purchases. This one is a yes or no question. So when we come back in here, we're going to put this in as a yes or no. So we want count if, parentheses, put our range in first. This is our range, comma, quotation mark, yes, quotation mark, parentheses. That's our yeses. Then we'll do another count if for our real estate purchases, comma, no, in quotation marks, and then parentheses. And that's our real estate purchases. Now, investments gets a little bit more interesting because we can do more with it. So we have the minimum dollar amount with investments, and we have our maximum. Dollar amount of investments. We can do a sum. Oh. And the sum is right there. And we can do an average. So notice with each of these, we put our command first, then we put the parentheses, tell it where to go, and we close the parentheses. With these, we'd like that to be in dollar signs. Then the number of transactions is basically the same thing. We can have a min, max, a sum, and an average. So you can do this basically a couple of ways. We can do what we just did, or because we know number of transactions is column E, we can just copy this down, come in here, and change this to E all the way across. So either way works. Some people like to go in and edit. Some people like to click the button with your mouse. So either way works. Okay, broadband access is a yes or no question. So we'll do the count if again, because we want to say we'll count if it's a yes. We have to tell it what the range is, comma, quotation mark, yes, quotation mark, parentheses. And the same here, count if, tell it where to go, comma, quotation mark, no, quotation mark, parentheses. And then household income is pretty similar to value of investments or number of transactions. So we're going to do min, household income, into parentheses, max, household income, sum equals sum, parentheses, household income, parentheses, average would be equals average, household income. And we want that in dollar signs. Okay, and then have children is a yes or no. So we're going to do count if have children, comma, quotation mark yes, quotation mark parentheses. And we'll do this for no's, but I need to change this to H's. No. And there we have it. And some of this information we've already seen. I'm going to put borders around this. I'm also going to put a thicker border around it. And then I'm going to take my grid lines off. I think that just makes for a nice, especially if you're going to copy paste into your document, makes for a nice visual demonstration there. Okay, so now I feel like we have enough information that we can make informed decision at a glance. So what magazines would be of interest to our demographics here? You know, if the average age is 30, what do 30-year-olds like to read in their magazines? If we have more males than females, not a big difference, but a little bit. Should we put our advertisements a little more heavy in male magazines versus female magazines? And real estate purchases, since most of our demographics or participants don't have real estate, Should we look at things like rental magazines, or maybe they're going to purchase in the future, so maybe that's an option too, is looking at real estate purchases or real estate agents, those types of magazines. The other thought is when we look at value of investments, they have some decent amounts of money invested. And I think the majority of them, 99% we saw, had money invested. So maybe there are other magazines that deal with investments that we could advertise in. Number of transactions, actually that shouldn't be a dollar sign. So we'll take that out right there. And, we can figure out something with that. Broadband access, most people have internet. I'm not sure there's really a magazine for internet, period. But that's some data that we have to play with. Household income. So our average household income is $74,000. We wouldn't want to advertise in something like, I don't know, luxury vacation rentals or SUVs or things like that, just because they don't have the extra money to go purchase high-end products necessarily. But what we could do is put something in, magazines that people do have a little disposable income. Maybe it's, taking a family vacation, because some of them have children, some of them don't. So we could look at different vacations that they might take with or without kids. We could look at again, real estate. They might be looking to purchase real estate or looking to rent. They might be looking to do all sorts of things, even grocery store magazines or that sort of thing. And then the children. I mean, that's kind of a split. So I think you have some wiggle room there. You could put something in, like I said, if you wanted to do a combo magazine that's maybe vacation with or without children, that might give you a little more bang for your buck. Or, purchasing a car with or without children. Some people might want sports cars, some people might want a minivan. You have some options there. So think about that. What magazines, what types of articles do you think these people would be interested in for these readers of Young Professional? All right. Well, I hope that has helped. I hope that through this major project, you've learned more about Excel, and I'm looking forward to seeing your assignment.